Early fall is definitely one of my favorite times of year. One big reason for that is that it's apple season. Our family spends at least 2 weekends picking apples at Mainely Apples orchard in Dixmont, Maine. We've been visiting for years. Recently, I took a trip to the orchard to speak with John Olsen, one of the co-founders and owners of Mainely Apples. When did you start the orchard?
35 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what was it, just a whim, or what were you?
Yeah. No, well, not a whim, but we've owned this whole farm for a long time, and originally these were cornfields.
Okay.
And then we leased out, and then the cow business got really bad, and hay was really hard. And we said, well, maybe we'll plant some apple trees and see what happens. Our business plan was nothing.
All right.
Which is still nothing.
And so you've been doing it for 35 years. How many trees did you plant?
500 first.
And how many do you have now?
1,700, give or take. The last, I guess, 5 or 6 years, and maybe more, we've kind of gone into the heirloom and antique varieties. I've been working quite a bit with John Olsen. This right here is an antique variety smokehouse. It's from 1848.
Okay, cool.
It's pretty old, you know.
Yeah.
I happen to like Roxbury Russets, and that's something John Adams had. And like the Spitzenberg apples, Thomas Jefferson. John's been doing this for a long time, and he's incredibly knowledgeable, not just about the history of his varieties, but about his craft, the care of his trees, and the land. You're replacing trees all the time, and I've seen out in the orchard there are braces underneath the trees. I'm guessing they get pretty heavy with the fruit. Yeah, it's the younger. Well, what we've done in the recent past now is I buy electrical mechanical tubing, 3/4 inch, and drive that in next to the tree, and then we have special straps we put on to hold them up, because these are semi-dwarf trees, and if the apples are real big when they're young, they have a tendency to just pull the tree head over and mess it over. Yeah. They don't die, but you know, you got them, if they go out into the road, and it's a real problem getting tractors through and stuff like that. So we're doing better on keeping things upright. Yeah. I mean, the maintenance basically is pruning, mowing. I'm assuming you must mow pretty much constantly in the summer. Yeah, I mean, when people come to the orchard sometimes, they look, I don't have my official stuff on, and they'll say, now do you work here? And I say, yeah, I'm the maintenance man, or I'm the groundskeeper. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Because I fix all the machinery and oil it and keep the diesel fuel in, like our pickers are out there, I got to take care of that stuff. Yeah. But there's 17 acres to mow. Yeah. And it's like when you get done mowing, it's time to start over. Right, yeah. And so it's pretty much you and Casey, and it's a family business. It's a family farm. I think people say to me, now in the wintertime, do you go to Florida? You get, I said, no, this is a 12-month-a-year job. Yeah. Yeah. We work hard when we close end of October, beginning of November, to get to winterize the orchard. Yeah. Make sure the fence is up and sound to keep the deer out, put on tree guard, and put the equipment away, winterizing the equipment. I'm done maybe at Christmas time. Yeah. All right, so we got 2 weeks. And then you start again pruning. Yeah. 2 weeks. Because pruning is 2.5 months, 3-man prune. And the hardest part of the year? We start in January. We do a lot of pruning on snowshoes. Yeah. Because you wouldn't get it done in time. Yeah. It's got to be done by the end of March, because they're going to start, the buds will start swelling in it. So we start mid-January and work every day that we physically can. Yeah. You can't. I always tell pruners, like Casey and I both do that. You don't look at the trees. Yeah. You don't stand back and say, oh, I ought to cut this one. Yeah. I mean, you get in amongst the trees, and you can tell by the color of what is water sprouts. You know? And you can get that color, that maroon color, they go. Yeah. And then you kind of just, if you got to fight your way in and everything's all tangled up, it's got to be opened up. And so that's what we do. You got to be able to see through them, and that's about right. Yeah. You know, if it's so blocked up that you can't see through the tree, then you're in trouble. But I mean, the trees are not supposed to grow straight up or straight down. You got to keep them in off the, you know, the lanes that we go down with tractors, and you also got to keep them down in height.
Yeah.
So that's our thing. Keep them in, keep them down, get rid of the water sprouts, and then take it from there.
Yeah. I next asked John why he chooses to use all dwarf varieties.
Pick your own people.
Yeah, they can't get up that high.
It's bad enough as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a sign that says, "Please stay out of the trees." You know,
Yeah. Just
you know.
ignore it. Yeah.
Well, now we got these apple pickers that people can, but you know,
Yeah.
people climbing around in them trees. You get a 250-pound guy climbing in them trees that doesn't do the trees any good at all.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know what it's like to deal with the public.
Yeah, I was a farmer's market.
Yeah,
That's
no.
why I don't do it anymore. I
Yeah.
congratulate you for being able to do it. I mean,
Well, I
you,
can't
you
do it.
and
I mean-
Emily now. Yeah.
Emily handles the retail business, and she's here at 10 o'clock in the morning to open up, or she's before that, she's here now.
Yeah.
But she can be nice to people at 10 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
There are some obnoxious people.
Yeah.
Rare, but there.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's,
So-
I dealt with the same thing at farmers markets, and it was like that. You know, it is. They are rare, but it's like that one person can ruin your whole day.
And you don't forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, that's still kind of gnawing
Yeah.
on you.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing that I don't like, I mean, you know, Emily's in her 30s and she's got kids and she's a grown woman, but people treat her like a kid sometimes.
Yeah.
And also they're rude to her.
Yeah.
She was 3 years old when we planted this orchard.
Yeah.
You know, and I have a picture of her holding the water hose
Yeah.
to water the trees that we were planting. So she's been here all her life.
Yeah. Right.
And so she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows the trees, she knows the varieties, she knows everything. Don't
Yeah.
be rude to her.
Yeah. If you come to this family business,
Yeah.
there's no chance that you know more than the people who have run this for.
Well, I always think that that's the thing. You can go to Walmart, and people come in here and say, "Oh man, I don't know. I saw apples cheaper at Walmart. I'm going to go back there." Well, I mean, this is a local business,
Yeah.
and also you can talk to her,
Yeah.
me, and ask questions. You
Yeah.
know, will these store well? You know, what do these kind of taste like? People ask her all the time, "What do these taste like?" Well, Honeycrisp, which is a big seller right now. Emily went to Walmart and bought some Honeycrisp. A, to check the price point,
Yeah.
and B, to see the quality.
Yeah.
And ours is so far superior.
Yeah.
It's
They're
unbelievable.
amazing. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the things I love about coming here is you pick an apple off a tree. I just don't buy apples from the grocery store anymore. It's like I'd rather not have. I mean, we store apples that we get from you into the spring,
Right.
but I'd rather not have an apple all summer and wait
well,
for it.
a lot of people say that to us.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
because
no comparison.
like you go out there and pick a Macintosh, especially now when they're really prime, and you pick that Macintosh off that tree and take it home and have it within a few days. I mean, that is the most superior quality you can get.
Yeah,
You know, they're not hanging around. You know.
and that's something that always frustrated me as a commercial farmer, particularly dealing with the public, was, you know, I don't have the patience for that, so I would just say, well, go ahead, Walmart's, you know how to get there, and that's why I wasn't very good at that business.
Yeah, I know. That's, you know, you start doing that to too many people.
You get a reputation.
I mean, that's one thing we pride ourselves in here. It's not just apples, you know, because we have our own bees, so we have our own honey, but we bring in local honey, we bring in local pickles and stuff like that, and goat milk soap and crafts, and, you know, this is all for people right,
Right, all from other farmers in the
right, or, you know, from right around
Yeah,
here. You
right.
know.
I really enjoy speaking with John. He and I have a lot in common, and can talk for quite a while, particularly about the pluses and minuses of farming, politics, life in rural Maine, you name it. But I know he's a busy man, and I didn't want to take up too much of his time. In addition to all of the fresh apples, 48 varieties throughout the season at last count, John, Elaine, their daughter, Emily, and Emily's husband, Casey, make some incredible cider. After a tour of the farm stand, we checked out the cider room. You guys also make cider,
We do.
and that I'm assuming you sell past, not just from the stand, but I think that goes to the co-op, right? And
Right.
other places?
Yes, we sell cider here, of course, and then we take cider to the Belfast Co-op through the business.
Right.
Actually, we can't keep up.
Yeah.
Last Friday, we made 300 gallons of cider, and it was gone by 1 o'clock. takes a lot of apples, and I don't think people realize they have to be picked to wash out. So we can't go pick stuff off the ground and make cider apples and just throw it in the grinder.
Right.
It has to be picked, it has to be washed, it has to be inspected to be broken skins. We're licensed by the state of Maine. We have a well just for this building for cider that's tested once a year. The interior walls of this are the same material they put on meat packing houses. It's a low mold. We also have the UV process. So even though our apples are absolutely perfectly clean and inspected, if there was a stray little piece of some bacteria in there, we would use it. So it's 100%. Our cider's well received. It's clear. It's good tasting.
It's delicious, yeah.
And we're very fussy. And this is all cider apples here. This particular time we're pressing Gallus, Honey Crisp, Snow Sweets. That's a good part of it. Plus a lot of other varieties to get this.
Mix it all together. It's not the single variety.
No. And we never use Macintosh or Macintosh derivatives because they have a lot of acid. It kind of makes your throat, all of us that we do is bland. Yeah. And most of it is sweet.
After the cider room, we moved to the cold storage barn and then took a tour of the orchard. All that, plus a trip with the family to pick our applesauce apples, in the next video from Nights and Weekends Homestead.